Now, WYFF News 4 presents For the Record.
Welcome to For the Record. I'm Nigel Robertson. WYFF News 4 is committed to bringing you important issues that are affecting our community. Today, we're discussing the rising need for energy across the Carolinas. We'll speak with Ryan Mosier of Duke Energy. Joining me first this morning is Bob Pauling, CEO of Mid-Carolina Electric Cooperative. Thank you for being here with us today. Let's talk about a study that was just released by a nonprofit that says the Carolinas are at an elevated risk for blackouts this winter. That does not sound good.
It does not, Nigel. And the issue we have is we just have not built any generation. I mean, last new generation was built. There was a small gas plant by Duke built in the upstate back in about 2018. But prior to that, the last generation of any significance was in 2007 and 8. And if you think about our state, our population has grown by 1 million people, from 4.4 to 5.4 million people, or about 20%. And think about the economic development boom that's going on in the state of South Carolina. Everybody loves living here, moving here, tens of thousands of people, and we're just behind in our generation needs, our baseload generation, and that's a real issue.
But that is going to take the energy companies, but also lawmakers to make that happen. Right?
Absolutely. It's going to take everyone. It's going to take everybody getting around the table, the environmentalists, the legislators, the Department of Commerce, the industry. Everybody's got to come around the table and find a solution. One group or the other cannot find a solution. It's got to be a joint venture of everyone.
I think it's safe to say lately that's not been happening on the political spectrum.
Right.
So what does that mean for the people sitting at home watching this right now?
Well, folks can argue policies and things like that, but one thing they can't argue is our need for generation, electricity, natural gas, those type things. So those policymakers, they got to put these emotions aside, to sit down, be adults, do the right thing for our future, because if we continue the shortage of generation, our state is going to suffer.
Yeah. And last winter, we had some issues where people didn't have power in some places.
Absolutely. It was Christmas Eve of all days.
And it's not just the Carolinas that are seeing this problem. It's really all over.
Right.
If our infrastructure is only getting worse, that's kind of terrifying.
I'm not sure if I'd classify as our infrastructure is getting worse. We just need more infrastructure. And if we have, regional issues, then the utilities can support each other they're interties. But if it's a widespread cold front like came through last Christmas Eve that affected the entire Southeast, then we're going to be in trouble again. As a matter of fact, we were kind of lucky it was on Christmas Eve, because if you think about it, there was a lot of industry shut down. Yeah. Just on our system, I'm at Mid-Carolina Electric Cooperative, we had about 35 megawatts of schools that weren't in session.
Yeah, true.
If you think about that across the state of South Carolina, that's 2 or 3 more generating stations that would have needed just to run the schools if this would have been on a Tuesday in January. So we need to look it back and see what really could have happened and then plan for a worst case scenario moving forward.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about your resume and your organization.
Right, we're one of 20 electric cooperatives in South Carolina. We don't generate any power, we distribute it. We buy our power from Santee Cooper and from Duke Energy, and we just distribute it to our members. So, for example, last Christmas Eve, we got a signal saying, we went to bed, all thumbs up, everything's good. We woke up in a critical situation. So what we almost had to do was reach out to our members and say, we're going to have rolling blackouts. So we got to protect the entire grid. So if there's not enough generation and transmission, then you have to drop load to make sure you don't run out and cause a catastrophic failure or a blackout across everything. So we were very fortunate that an industrial customer down in the lower part of South Carolina dropped some load so that we could make it through. But we can't live like this. Yeah. This is not California. We cannot live and turn into a third world country by not having enough generation.
Like you said earlier, I mean, more and more people are moving to this area. New neighborhoods are popping up everywhere. So the demand on the power grid is more and more.
Exactly. And like I said earlier, it's been really 15 years since any significant generation has been built. The VC summer plants failed. Had they come online, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation, but they didn't. That's a fact of reality we got to live with, so we got to figure this out.
Where does green energy come into this? There's been talk about wind energy on the coast, solar energy, all over.
For the most part, the state of South Carolina is not very conducive to wind energy. On the coast, maybe, and who knows if that'll ever get built. Solar is part of the portfolio, but the problem with solar is, especially on a cold winter morning, the sun's not shining yet.
Yeah.
Solar is good as far as reducing the fuel usage, but you got to have a generator backing it up because solar goes up and down. It's kind of like your car on the interstate when your cruise control. Electricity can't do this. Electricity has to stay steady state, so you have to have a generator paired up with solar. Solar's good, but you got to have, and the best solution is a natural gas spinning generator. That's we call solar a redundant resource or an intermittent resource.
Yeah. Are you nervous, or is this more, let's get the word out and start the wheels rolling?
I am very nervous. Our job is to make sure that what we say is the little old lady at the end of the line, when it's cold that morning, we don't have to. The problem we have in South Carolina, we do not build our houses to handle cold weather. So if the temperatures drop into teens and then the single digits, it only takes an hour or so for our pipes to freeze and burst, and who knows after that what. It's a serious problem. So I'm nervous and concerned, and this is awareness as much as anything else that we all need to come around the table and we got to solve this problem.
All right, well, we'll hear more from you in a little bit, but next we'll speak with Ryan Mosier of Duke Energy about how the company is preparing to keep lights on this winter, even if or when that wintry weather hits.